Say 2012 or so, you know, the dealership, any dealership, don't matter if it's red, green, blue, yellow, they all kind of decided that, you know, the precision farming stuff had to start becoming profitable. It was a costing center for them mainly. So what became an issue was how do you justify giving a guy, you know, $40,000 a year, and we're bringing in $10,000 of revenue or $15,000 of revenue. One of my big issues, I guess, you know, in our dealership is having enough manpower. I mean, me and Eli's pretty much covering, you know, from 70 at Indianapolis to Michigan, a little bit into Michigan, a little bit into Illinois, and a little bit in Ohio. So you start traveling that much and trying to take care of phone calls and you know, trying to justify that time you spend on the phone was probably one of the biggest issues. And when we had to figure out how to get the phone calls somewhat regulated, because your phone lights up. I mean, it just, you know, first day of planting season, you know, I don't know if I've ever broke 100 phone calls, but 90 is pretty common. You know, everybody expects a response, and you're trying to do the best you can, but how do you work around that? So we come up with a plan that, you know, if all you want's phone service. And so what you do is, and this is the way I handle it, I mean, if they call you with a question and they say, hey, I need to know how to do this, and you answer that on the phone, then I'm charging $30 a phone call to do that. And it might take 5 minutes, and you might be on the phone a half an hour, but we think that's pretty much everything gets handled in a half an hour or less. So, and that's determined on me. I mean, I bill them if I have to bill them. If I don't, I don't. If it turns into a service call, so we wipe the phone fee because we know we're going to have a service call fee in there, and so we try to treat them fair that way. If I didn't help them fix it, I don't charge them for it, and that's worked really well for us. I've sold some of the $400 plans. You know, our customers that call us year round, there's a group of guys that, you know, we deal with all the time. But the guys that, you know, need a phone call once or twice a year, they're not going to give us $400, and that's fine. And if you charge them for a phone call, most of them are not going to argue with you that you didn't help them out. So, and we detail it when we do that. If we have a $30 phone fee, I usually write down what we did, what we talked about, and so if anybody, you know, says, hey, that did, you know, what's this for, I can tell them, and they usually remember. So that's what we've worked out on it, and I'm not saying we're getting rich at it, but it's alleviated a lot of problems, and it has cut down on some of the phone calls. So it helps me get more things done a day.